Yo, it's Tony. Come inside of me. Today's Ask Me Anything Monday, and haven't checked my email, so I actually am thinking that I need to give us all some collective advice because I can't dig into the world of email right now. The oppressive ecosystem that is one's email. I know some people maybe love emails, they get great news over email. I've never had someone email me, hey, girl, you're doing it. Actually, you know what? I have. I've had some like wicked nice emails in my life, but I've also had some rude as fuck ones. And most of the emails are either rejections or someone telling me something to do. So, this is what I'm feeling right now, the collective advice that we're all needing. And I think there are these moments in time where we do need collective advice, where everyone needs the exact same motherfucking advice. Period, hook, line, and sinker. We all need to hear the advice I'm about to give. Do I know what it is? No, but do I know I'm the one to be giving it? 100%. First, I must do the ASMR torture of drinking my morning butt mud coffee. Mmm. Are there any coffee brands that want to do a partnership with me and we can make a like a Tony affiliate called Butt Mud? I think that'd be so fun. Do you own an organic coffee company and do you want to go into business with me? And can we make a like what is it, like a bean, not a bean, but like a line of your cafe that I promote called Tony's Butt Mud? That's a good idea. Someone knows someone who knows someone in the coffee business, okay? Y'all help me make this happen. I need to be having business tentacles because I can't just rely on Patreon. Oh, by the way, are you supporting my Patreon? Look at how these ads are just flowing into each other. The advertisement for myself, because I refuse to like take corporate ads. The fact that I do not make any money off of social media is upsetting because I'm always hearing about people making so much money and like buying houses from their Instagram money and like, oh, I just like bought this car from my like TikTok dollars or whatever the fuck. And I'm like, I've never made 2 cents on social media because of my stupid morals and values. I hate this for me. I hate it for me. Maybe your $5 Patreon is gonna one day buy me a house. LOL. But if enough of you gave me $5, maybe it fucking would. So can you go to my Patreon and give me $5 a month? You give $5 to something way stupider than me. All right, let's talk about, and someone find me this coffee company to partner up with. Then maybe you don't even need to support my Patreon if you find me the coffee company, my dude. I think Butt Mud, Tony's Butt Mud, is an important brand to launch into the world. Okay, this is what I think we all need to hear right now is that we cannot shut the fuck up, right? All right, I made a video about this today about the fact that Stephen Colbert, like, he knew what he was doing, right? He knew what he was doing. I'm not even a fan of Stephen Colbert. I gotta be honest with you. He says a lot of things that piss me the fuck off. You know, I genuinely thought he was like part of the propaganda machine. You know me, I don't trust anyone in the mainstream media. Hello, no, I do not. But the fact that he like had that monologue, which I watched and I was like, okay, I'm listening. I was impressed. I was genuinely impressed. And I love when people surprise me because I have like a lot of assumptions about a lot of people, even though I'm like very open minded. Even though some guy on the internet was telling me I was closed minded, he was going on and on. We got into a true internet like late night fight because he's like, you're closed minded because like I don't like change my opinion on genocide. And I think that like police brutality is wrong. Like truly, we were fighting about a video about police brutality and he was like, that guy deserved to get his ass beat. And I'm like, my dude, truly no person deserves to get their ass beat. Like, who hurt you? So anyway, and then he was telling me I was closed-minded. Why was I engaging? I don't know. It was bothering me. It was bothering me that this person was trying to talk me out of like how violence is like not the vibe, you know? Maybe I need to not engage in that way, but I was engaging. You know, someone's in my DMs and then like I like falsely assume we're friends, but a lot of people are in my DMs and shit gets weird in there. Shit gets fucking weird. All right, where am I at? Oh right, Colbert. So he like sacrificed his career to say that monologue and like respect. And I do think, and this is what I was talking about in the video I made, and then obviously the South Park happened with the Trump's penis. Also, I have two very good Trump penis videos that are out. The first one I made 12 fucking years ago. And if you're like, Tony, you look the same 12 years ago. Thank you. I'm in a penis costume, so it's deceiving. No, I made the first penis video 12 years ago, and then I made the other one the next day. So please watch both those penis videos of Trump's penis and share them, because they're like some of my favorite work I've ever done. And I don't want to get like my penis videos to get shadow banned just because I'm in a giant dick costume. So I'm counting on you to share those videos. But what I'm trying to tell you is the fact that like you have these dudes talking about grape culture is such a fucking vibe, because this is like Me Too was a lot of victims talking about grape culture, a lot of people who actively experienced it themselves. They're like, hey, I've experienced grape is happening. Hello, Me Too, let's wake up to it. But with this list, the list that is happening right now, the Jeffy Epi list, and the fact that these men are recognizing that, like, oh, wait a gosh darn minute, this impacts me. Also, I hope y'all are realizing like the fucked up language when people say young women versus children. Yeah, like a young woman is a child. I just want to be like super clear about that. There's like women and there's children. Like a young woman, I guess, is like 18. All right. But like that's a woman. A 17-year-old is a child. A 16-year-old is a child. And also, Trumpo is accused of raping 12-year-olds. Okay. Children. Um, and I know maybe like I think it's like what we need to recognize. And I think what these men are recognizing is that if you're going to grape children, if you're going to grape women too, but this is the thing. I think a lot of men can like kind of identify with graping a woman, because you're like, yeah, I can see how that could happen. And then we've talked about that a lot, about how not only how common it is, but it's a like it's something that people like to do. It wouldn't be happening if people didn't like to do it. But I think a lot of people do draw the line at raping children. So, like, this is what's interesting about this current moment, is that people are beginning to like put the pieces together, the mycelial network. It's like there's this cultural conversation of like, we're all one, a collective consciousness. We're all the mushroom stems and the tree roots coming together. But that means, if you're really going to be saying that, that everything is affecting each other. So it's like these dudes that are talking, that are making genuine sacrifices. I mean, obviously the South Park boys were challenging Trump to sue them. They weren't being subtle about it. I'm not like, oh, where'd you come up with that, Tony? They were like actually saying that throughout the episode. But what's interesting about that, this like male against male challenge around grape culture, is that there is this inherent understanding that I think is finally happening, where the dudes are like, if a guy is a grapey, that means that that's going to infiltrate other parts of his personality. It's not just like designated for this one thing that has nothing to do with me. And I think that's why grape culture has flourished so much, is because there is this kind of like, yeah, well, yeah, Brad, he graped a girl in college, but he's like, he's pretty sick at like fantasy football, like he knows how to like cook a wing or whatever. There's all these other ways in which you can see the good in Brad. And so you're like, oh, well, like, yeah, he may like grape this person, but like, how does that impact our friendship? Because that grape has nothing to do with our friendship. And I think that's why men have like been reticent to like fully like embark on this conversation, because they're not getting that grapey Brad. He's going to bring his grape consciousness into the friendship. Like, it is going to affect you. And I think that's what people need to get, is that like, if you're going to be wanting to dominate people without your consent in this one way, you're going to be doing it in all ways. Grapey Brad is not a good friend if he's going to be graping. And look, I have been friends with someone. I have experienced this on a personal level, where like I had a friendship and I'm like, oh, this guy's a cool guy. I like him. We have a good time together. We have fun. We've gone dancing together, a good time. And then another friend was like, oh, that guy graped me. And you're like, wait, what the actual fuck? And I've experienced that confusion myself. Okay, like I'm not saying I don't know what that is like. I do know what that is like. And then it's like the whole Michael Jackson Macaulay Culkin thing, right? Where Macaulay Culkin's like, he didn't grape me, and then everyone's like, see, he didn't grape Macaulay, so obviously Michael Jackson wasn't graping other kids. Um, Macaulay and Michael Jackson were of the same power level. They were both incredibly famous people. Like, I don't think that that's the same power structure of what Michael Jackson had with like these no-name kids whose parents were letting them sleep in his bed. And I do think Michael Jackson, there is like confusion around that for me personally, because I do think he was speaking out about Tommy Mottola. I do think he was doing all sorts of like controversial and very important stuff. I am not clear on exactly what happened there, but I do think that, like, who wants to sleep in a bed with a kid? Because I don't know if you ever slept in bed with a kid, but they sleep like octopus. They don't sleep like chill. Like, they sweat, they fart, they like move a lot. Like, I don't want to ever sleep with my own kid because she's moving around all the time. It's annoying as hell. So I don't know. The Michael Jackson thing is hard because he was speaking out against injustice. And he spoke out about Gaza. He was like writing songs about Gaza, like in the fucking 80s or early 90s. Like, Michael Jackson a lot, but again, here you hear my own mental gymnastics that's happening. People can be like actually really revolutionary people and still grape, because obviously Michael was very abused by his dad. A victim can be a graper. And this is why we have to keep talking about it, y'all. And it can't just be about like victims talking about it. It has to be every single person talking about it, because that is where the power lies. And then when we recognize the connection between grape culture and genocide, when we recognize the connection between grape culture and capitalism, and how like, oh, this is affecting every single facet of society, education, art, Hollywood, music. We know all the things. Like, I think people are really beginning to see the complexity of the culture. Hello, hello, hello. And that is why I wrote a whole tragic comedy about it called Grape Culture, that is on tour now, that you must see. You must see my show, because it's not blamey. It's not pointing fingers. I'm like rubbing my eyes right now because I do that. There's these moments where I like have to touch my own eyes. If you're listening to this, you can't see it, but there is a compulsion to touch one's own eyes when you're like saying something that like you're like, please listen to me. I must touch my own eyes and close my own eyes. But I made a tragic comedy about this with Serafina Supernova, who I do Gnarly Girls with, another podcast you should listen to, because this is just me talking to myself. Listen to the podcast where I talk to another person and have another person's ideas combat and bip bop off of mine. The bip bopping of a conversation is another vibe, okay? So it's not like, oh, I listen to this podcast, why should I listen to the other one? Because they're different. Because I'm a different person when I'm not talking to myself, hyped up on Tony's butt mud. Um, so please help that coffee company thing happen. Okay, so my collective advice to us is that we must keep talking. And I think I've said, maybe I've given us this advice before, but don't just do it in private, do it publicly. Do it in every conversation you can, because this is where it's like, if we don't get tired of talking about it, then that's when change happens. And I think this is what the news cycle is all about. And we are programmed to be part of a news cycle. Like, remember the whole Free Tibet thing? And there's like a concert, and then the concert, Free Tibet, and then we're like, oh cool, like Tibet's free now because there was a concert about it. And then like, if 10 years later someone's like, hey, you should free Tibet, we're like, what? No, we like free Tibet. Don't you remember the concert? It's happened. And it's like, no, it actually didn't happen. Like, remember when there was all those like, it was like, where are our girls? Because all these girls went missing, these Nigerian girls. And then people like made signs and they're like, where are the girls? And then everyone just assumed those girls got found because people like made signs about it. But no, those girls never were found. They were trafficked. So I think the problem with like news cycles and like trendy activism is that you think things are resolved after the trend is over. It's like, oh, we did the trend, so it must be fine now. Not how it works. absolutely not how it works. So I think that we have to like not fall into the trappings of the news cycle and be like, well, we've made the jokes, we've talked about the thing, we've done the videos, moving on to the next thing. No, we have to like seriously, compulsively talk about genocide and rape culture because they're rooted in the same consciousness. And ice, okay? The trifecta, and of course the prison industrial complex, and I could go on, and the Congo, and everything that's happening with the extraction of resources all over the world within capitalism and the misdistribution of resources. Like, they're all intertwined. I don't need to tell you this because I've truly made like 700,000 million videos and podcasts about it. So I'm just reminding you, I'm trying to give you the language so you can use your own language to speak the language. Even though that guy on the internet told me I was like really closed-minded, which obviously I'm like still really salty about. But maybe I am very closed-minded about people who are not open-minded. Which is actually, I think, the tagline of my Tony Baloney website, which was a website, my blog that I did, where I blogged about parenting. Which, if you've never read my blog and you have a kid, you should go read my blog. It's actually like a true vibe. There's like so many blog entries. I blogged every day for like 10 years or 11 years. It's a lot of me. Have you had enough of me yet? No, because you should come inside of me. Anyway, this is a very manic episode because I only had a little bit of time because I have to move my body before I do something else. It had to do with my schedule and, whatever. You get it. It's Monday. Anyway, I love you dearly. Um, Follow my Patreon. Oh, get tickets to Grape Culture. If you're not where Grape Culture is happening, DM me and be like, I want Grape Culture to come to me and we'll figure it out. But get tickets, share it, share my videos, share my penis videos, tag me. It's so easy to become my friend if you want to become my friend. Like, all you gotta do is either like support my Patreon or like tag me in a video. And then I'm like, oh my God, I love you. Because I'm like that kind of person. Okay, I gotta go. Bye.